Deacon, one thing that folks in the diaspora always tell me, they love Grenada. They want to retire and go back home someday, but they're very concerned about the CBI program and other nationals, other people that own the Grenadian passport. What will or how will the NDC administration manage the CBI program? Talk about transparency. How transparent would it be? Would we be able to know who those people are that hold Grenada passport? Could you talk to us about the accountability and transparency of the CBI program if elected into office?
Sure, absolutely. The CBI program, in my view, should be run by professionals. And if run by professionals, and if the politicians take their hands off the program, then there's no reason why the program should not be transparent. In my view, there's no reason why you should not publish on an annual basis the list of persons who've been granted citizenship. There should be no reason why you should not publish the amount of funds that the government has collected from the program. And more crucially, as I said yesterday, you should in fact be clearly demonstrating to Grenada how you are using those funds to transform Grenada, because that is the purpose of the transformation fund. No one knows how the money is being spent. So for me, in order for someone to get a Grenadian passport, they go through an extensive vetting process, vetted by international firms whose literally business is due diligence. So I'm pretty confident that Grenada's vetting process is one of the best in the region. Therefore, if someone gets a passport, they would have gone through a pretty rigorous and thorough background check. And therefore, in my view, there should be no objection to publishing the list of those persons. And if you wish to categorize it by country or geographic region, there should be no reason why that should not be published. Because who are citizens of Grenada is a public issue. If you want to know whether I'm a citizen of Grenada or whether I'm a passport holder, that's part of our public records, and one should be able to know that. And as I said, crucially, how the funds are used and the amount of funds that is collected should be published. I know that on the Ministry of Finance website, you can find, in a sense, aggregate sums, so how much funds were collected from CBI on an annual basis. But what we don't really know is how the funds are being used, and specifically if it was a transformation fund, and if it's meant to transform Grenada, then clearly there's no transformation taking place.
Yeah.
So under an NDC administration, we certainly will ensure, because it's quite simple. If you collected $100 million in CBI money, let's say in 2021, you should be able to clearly show in Parliament, in the media, how you intend to spend this $100 million for the betterment of Grenada, for the transformation of Grenada. Which polyclinic did you build? Which secondary school did you build? Which road did you reconstruct? Which health center did you build? Where are the 2,000 students who you gave scholarships to become digital experts with the transformation money? That should be clear, because that is what transformation is about. You should have been able to say to the Grenadian public, we've identified 2 or 3 areas that we believe will transform Grenada. Let's take a random example, energy, right? And so we want to make Grenada carbon neutral by X date. And so we will invest in solar panels. We will invest in research for wind or geothermal, right? So that the public understands that. And so when you are successful in doing that, if you are building solar, if you are building solar towers, the public can see, and you can say this is CBI money at work, so that the public then understands that there's a direct link between the transformation and the development of Grenada and the CBI program. But as it stands now, there is no such direct link, because there is no transformation.
Just a few years ago, governments in the Caribbean was accused of using CBI money to fund their political campaign. Right.
Well, that is the sort of thing it would lead to, because you see, if it's not transparent, and if you don't know where the funds are being spent, then it leads to speculation. And obviously, it's quite easy for people to speculate and say that's what's happening.
Writer's Headline News is brought to you by All Pros Health Lab. For rapid COVID PCR tests, give them a call today. And by Host and Funeral Home, 718-332-4350.